Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown 205 Live results from February 28th, 2020. Birthdays of from the 25th, Hall of Famer Devon Dudley took to Twitter and wished his son, two twin sons, Terrence and Terrell, a happy 25th birthday, and indicated that we may be hearing from them in the near future. WWE posted a video of Shamus driving pacecar at this link in the recent NASCAR Daytona 500, courtesy of This Week in WWE. WWE has suspended Samoa Joe for 30 days due to his first violation of wellness policy. Well, I told you about this for the last couple of weeks. They delayed it because several other stars were just coming off their suspension. Andrade was one. Announced the suspension today and noted that it went into effect this past Monday, February 24th. So, 30 days from that will be his return. Reported earlier in the month, Russell was it. More WWE wellness policy suspensions could be coming. The report strongly indicated that Joe was possibly being suspended. It would appear that if WWE already knew of the suspension early in February, that it hasn't been confirmed. Joe is currently on the shelf after suffering a reported concussion from taking a bad table bump during WWE commercial shoot earlier this month. This would be Joe's second concussion less than a month. Joe suffered a broken thumb back in September and didn't return to the ring until late December. He then suffered a concussion while doing a dive on the January 27th Raw episode, returned for 1 week, then suffered a second concussion while filming. WWE has a series of wellness policy violations since December. After going so long without any, U.S. Champion Andrade is currently wrapping up his first 30 day as he returned to Raw this coming week, and announced back on December 10th that Robert Roode and Primo Cologne were also suspended for 30 days. Well, Primo hasn't wrestled in over a year for WWE. These were the first violations announced since 7 suspensions were announced in 2016. It was then announced on January 28th. Andrade had violated wellness policy and announced Joe's suspension. So stay tuned for updates on Joe's suspension and return. People magazine has released the first image of upcoming Rumble movie from the Paramount Animations and WWE Studios, which hits theaters Friday, January 29th, 2021. A photo shows a huge but cuddly looking monster leaning back against the wrestling ring, towering over humans below. The monster, named Steve, is trained in the movie to become an unstoppable wrestler. Actor Will Arnett is voicing the monster. I'm excited to be part of this really fun movie, Arnett told People. It's a great, positive story in a time when we need to hear more positive stories. The synopsis for the movie reads like this. In a world where monster wrestling is a global sport and monsters are superstar athletes, teenage Winnie seeks to follow her father's footsteps by coaching a lovable underdog monster into a champion. Rumble stars Roman Reigns and Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch, plus Terry Crews, Tony Danza, Stephen A. Smith, Michael Buffer, probably the announcer, Ben Schwartz, Jimmy Tetro, Susan Kalechi Watson, and Geraldine Viswanathan. No word yet on the characters that Reigns and Lynch will be voicing, but probably the wrestlers themselves. Well, other than Arnett. Lynch, probably the voice of the daughter for the wrestler coming in. Crews stars as Tentacularis, a shark-like tentacle monster who is the current monster wrestling champion. In the movie, Winnie, mentioned in the synopsis, is played by Viswanathan. Okay, well, my thing was wrong. The movie was originally scheduled to be released in July 31st of this year, but it was pushed back to January 29th, 2021. Viewers can see a trailer for the movie before the new Sonic the Hedgehog film in theaters. And here's the first look photo of the film. Go to that link. Looks like WWE Hall of Famer Bret Hart will be the one to posthumously induct his brother-in-law, the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, into the Hall of Fame during WrestleMania 36 week. While WWE has not officially announced Bulldog's induction, word going around last week's Raw was that the Hitman will be the one to induct the Bulldog into the Hall of Fame. According to PW Insider, noted before, the entire Hart family is scheduled to travel to Tampa, Florida to be in attendance in the induction. There's been speculation on Davey Boy Smith Jr., Dave Hart Smith, being involved with the induction due to his recent appearance on WWE's The Bump, but that hasn't been confirmed either. WWE has confirmed just 3 inductions to the 2020 class: Batista, the Bella Twins, NWO, Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Sean Waltman, X-Pac. Batista revealed several weeks ago that he had requested Finley to be his inductor, but WWE has not confirmed the request with an official announcement. Also, no word yet on who will be the inductions for the NWO and the Bella Twins. Probably Daniel Bryan for the Bella Twins. Other rumored names for the 2020 Hall of Fame class are Jushin Thunder Liger and JBL. One of those two will probably be advertised on Fox Sports 1, FS1, on this week's edition of The Bump. WWE 2020 Hall of Fame will take place on April 2nd from the Amalie Arena in Tampa during WrestleMania 36 week. Here's a new video of Hall of Famer Big Bill Goldberg speaking to the WWE camera after his Universal title win over the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, in the main event of Super Showdown. Goldberg said he will be limping out of Saudi Arabia this time, but he's honored to be able to pick up another reign with the title. First saying, "I'll be limping out of Saudi Arabia," Goldberg said when asked about his reaction to the title win. "But hey, man, it's an honor just to be here and to be able to go out there and attain this belt again. This title again is a dream. It's a dream come true. It truly is. It's something you always shoot for. But the older you get, the further that pinnacle is away. You think, I'm just in awe." I had to hit him. I had to hit him with everything I had, as quickly as I could. Catch him on surprise, catch him off guard. Just like I did Brock Lesnar. You know, you got to hit guys before they're ready, especially at my age, so it worked. I'll just strike it up as another conquest. Goldberg is expected to defend the Universal title against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 36, as you'll hear later on. Probably on Mondays. Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation has overturned a submission win by the Huntington Beach bad boy, Tito Ortiz, over Alberto El Patron from this past December. According to a report by MMA Junkie, Ortiz scored the victory in the main event of Combat Americas in Hidalgo, Texas. No exact reason for the decision was announced by the commission, but they have done the same, checking in 2013 win by Jessica I to a no contest, as it was later revealed that I tested positive for marijuana. In an email to MMA Fighting, Telemange of the CDLR said the results of the fight were changed pending further investigation, but they could not offer more information at the time. Ortiz, being 45 years old, walked out of the cage with his UFC light heavyweight title and the WWE belt. El Patron won while competing at Alberto Del Rio in the WWE. On Twitter, Ortiz stated, "This is a BS claim and will get overturned. I promise you all. Sad way to get attention in my expense." 2 new matches that WWE reportedly has planned for WrestleMania 36 are Ortiz versus Dolph Ziggler and a title match with WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Asuka and Kairi Sane versus Natalya and WWE Hall of Famer Beth Phoenix. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, that is. Regarding Phoenix teaming with Natalya, it's likely that Beth's return to Raw, a Monday show in Brooklyn, will lead to this feud. WWE announced that Beth is coming to Raw to give an update on the condition of WWE Hall of Famer Edge. and that she may be involved in an angle with Randy Orton, which is my prediction anyway. And Randy will probably give her the RKO. It's possible that they don't announce the match until after March the 9th because Asuka and Natalya are both in the Raw Women's Elimination Chamber match. Noted before that there will be a third annual WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal at the 7th annual Andre the Giant Battle Royal this year. The matches are done to get other talents on the show and to bring back female superstars from the past for the nostalgia pop. It's also expected that some NXT superstars will be used in the Battle Royal as well. Regarding the other 5 planned matches, one will involve Raw Team Champion, Tag Team Champions. As of 10 days ago, the plan was a singles match with Rollins versus KO, but that could end up being Rollins and Murphy, defending their titles against Owens and a partner, or multiple tag teams from that red brand. My prediction is tag team title change before that will happen, thus being your singles action again. There'll also be a match with Braun Strowman defending the IC belt and a Continental belt. It could be a multi-man match with the guys that have been pushed on SmackDown, such as Shamus, U.S. Champion Andrade defending his title against multiple challengers as well, is likely. New SmackDown Tag Team Champions, John Morrison and The Miz, are scheduled to defend. They could face a New Day in a rematch from Super Showdown. There's also talk of doing Rude and King Corbin versus Miz and Morrison. Jeff Hardy has been announced as a special guest for Tuesday's WWE Backstage episode on FS1 at 11 p.m. On a related note, Hardy is backstage for SmackDown this week on Fox episode from the TD Garden in Boston. According to PW Insider, no word yet on why Hardy was there, but it could be to plan for his upcoming ring return. Noted earlier this month that Jeff could be returning to the ring soon. He was scheduled to visit the PC Performance Center earlier this month to have his progress towards an in-ring return checked on. Jeff has been out of action with a leg injury since shortly after WrestleMania 35 on April 19th. Originally reported that he would have been out for 6 to 9 months. Jeff's WWE contract was scheduled to expire on March the 1st, along with his brother Matt Hardy's contract, but they have reportedly added more time to it, being that Jeff has not competed in many months. So he will probably be extended 6 to 9 months. Jeff's scheduled to be back in court on April 6th, the day after WrestleMania 36, for the charges related to a DWI arrest from October 3rd, 2019 in Moore County, North Carolina. Jeff was also arrested in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina on July 13th, 2019 for public intoxication. No update on that court case. It was reported back in early January that WWE officials have pushed Jeff to address his personal health issues in the wake of those arrests, and that he has been working hard at doing that. Tuesday's appearance on WWE Backstage will be Jeff's first time on WWE programming since April 2019. WWE taped 2 matches for 205 Live episode before SmackDown went on the air on Fox, and it was Lio Rush defeating Cody Nese by DQ due to interference from Mike Kanellis, who's teaming with Nese now on a Lorcan and Danny Burch made a save. The 4 superstars brawled to the back. Jack Gallagher then ran out and attacked Rush, leaving him laid out. New tats for Gallagher were stated. Joaquin Wilde defeated Raul Mendoza. WWE usually airs 205 Live after SmackDown goes off the air, but tonight it will be shown on the network at its normal time, 10 p.m. Undertaker is scheduled to return to Raw March the 9th episode from the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., according to PW Insider. Could Matt Hardy be headed to work for the NXT brand? Question mark. There's been recent talk of Matt possibly working the NXT brand in some capacity. According to PW Insider, no word yet on if Matt will be working behind the scenes or as talent, or both. But there's been at least some talk of Raw Superstar going to NXT if he were to stay with the company. But WWE officials have been reportedly made a lot of overtures to Matt in the past few weeks in an attempt to get him to stay with the company. Matt's WWE contract is scheduled to be expiring on Sunday. Reported earlier this year that major hurdle in contract talks was related to creative, not money or anything like that. It'd be interesting to see what if WWE allows Matt to bring his broken character to NXT while bringing his veteran experience to the brand to help the up-and-coming superstars. Hardy, who has been teasing signing with virtually every top wrestling promotion on social media lately, posted a tweet with not-so-veiled reference to NXT. Stay tuned for updates on Matt's WWE future as we get closer to March 1st. New trailer and poster released for the Rumble movie with Roman Reigns that I told you about earlier at this link. SmackDown opens up with the usual intro video. Live from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Michael Colesall welcomes us to the show. Chimed in with Corey Graves. Right to the ring, Greg Hamilton does the introductions in the ring. For the new U.S. Universal Champion, out comes Bill Goldberg to a mixed reaction. Mostly cheers and chants of his name. Colesall talks about how Goldberg defeated the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, for the title at Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia on Thursday. Music stops and the boos get louder as Goldberg grabs his mic. Goldberg says, do not be mistaken. It's not about who was last. It's about who's next. He drops the mic and the music interrupts. Out comes Roman Reigns to a pop. Reigns marches to the ring and the fans cheer them on. He enters and they meet in the middle of the ring. For a stare down, Reigns says, I'm next. Reigns drops the mic and makes his exit to the back as his music starts back up. Goldberg paces his ring as Colesall and Graves wonder what this match would be like if it happens at WrestleMania 36. Colesall and Graves hype the show, including John Cena's return in his hometown. Colesall says, we will take a look at moments from Cena's career throughout the night. We get a look back at Cena's debut, June 27th, 2002, with Hall of Famer Kurt Angle. Cole says Cena will be here live tonight. We'll go to commercial. Bayley versus Naomi was your first match. And I did not see the entire show myself because I was traveling to pick up my daughter. Back from the break, SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley was out first. And as Naomi was out last, of course. Non-title match. A rematch from Bayley's successful title defense at Super Showdown. Colesall says a win would move Naomi closer to another title shot. Bayley takes the mic after the bell, hits and says, this is ridiculous. This should not have to be here tonight. Especially in front of these idiots. Bayley said she's already made history last night when she beat Naomi. She's here for one more reason and one only. She introduces a future Grammy-winning artist who is better than Beyonce or Cardi B. The one and only Tasha Banks. Out comes Banks to a hometown pop as the music hits. Bayley takes advantage of the distraction and attacks Naomi to get things going. Banks watches from ringside. Naomi comes back with a kick to the face and a drop kick. Bayley counters going to the corner, but Naomi sends her into turnbuckles. Naomi with a rear view for a 2 count. Banks hits the rings for disqualification. Winner by DQ, Naomi. After the belt, Naomi gets double teamed as the fans boo. Music hits, out comes Lacey Evans. Evans rushes the ring, but Banks and Bayley double team her. Evans gets involved, and they all continue to brawl. Referees hit the ring to break things up. Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Lacey Evans and Naomi. It's announced that this match is restarting as a tag team match. Naomi and Lacey get the upper hand and send Bayley and Sasha to the floor. They go on and take their opponents down again. Stand tall in the ring as we go back to commercial. Back from the break, Bayley works Naomi over. Bayley sends Naomi for a 2 count. Banks and Naomi keep the show with tags. Grounding Naomi, Naomi fights out of a hold and drops Banks with a spin kick. Banks stops Naomi from tagging with a low drop kick. Banks works Naomi over in the corner as the referee counts. Bayley tags back in and he double team Naomi with elbows. Bayley covers for a 2 count. Naomi finally gets hot tagged to Evans and in she comes with offense. And fans cheer her on. Evans unloads on Bayley and knocks Banks off the apron. Naomi tags in. Evans tags in as Evans drops Bailey one more time. Bailey springboards in at Naomi springboards in at Bailey, but Banks breaks the pin up. Banks sends Evans to the floor. Naomi comes from behind, but Banks counters and drops her with a backstabber. Evans pulls Banks out and sends her into the barrier. Banks blocks another barrier shot and sends Evans into it. Banks and Evans continue brawling at ringside. Bailey tries to grab Evans from the ring, but Naomi comes from behind. Naomi and Bailey tangle for a second, and Naomi rolls her up for the pin and the win. After the match, Banks recovers outside on the floor as Evans and Naomi celebrate to Naomi's music. And we go to replays. We see the New Day backstage walking the Greek NFL player, Josh McDaniels of the New England Patriots. Then they walk up on Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler for a stare down. Back to commercial. Back for the break, we get a look at John Cena versus JBL from WrestleMania 21. Cena will be here tonight. Kofi versus Robert Roode was up next. We go back to the ring. Out first comes Robert Roode with Dolph Ziggler. New Day was out next. Kofi with Big E. Kofi, who grew up in the area, gets a bigger pop from the crowd. Back and forth to start the match. Roode takes it to the corner and works Kofi over as the referee warns him and the fans boo. Roode with a big chop. Roode whips Kofi across the ring into the opposite corner and then catapults him. But Kofi lands on his feet. Kofi with a big drop kick for a 2 count. Kofi works on the arm, but Roode grabs the ropes. Roode rocks Kofi with a back elbow. Roode beats Kofi down and takes his time, talking trash. Roode keeps Kofi grounded in the middle of the ring with a headlock down. Kofi ends up getting sent out. Roode follows that and has words with Big E. Ziggler slowly struts into the ring to distract the referee. Roode goes down at ringside on his own. Setting hard on the ground, referee turns around and sees this, thinking Big E is responsible. Referee ejects Big E to the back, and he's furious. Arguing with the referee about Roode, did this on his own. Back to commercial. Back to the match, and Roode has grounded on the mat as Ziggler looks on from the floor. Kofi fights up and out as we see Mandy Rose backstage watching the match on the screen. Roode counters Kofi and sends him into the corner, but gets dropkicked. Kofi goes out, but Roode rocks him. More back and forth. Roode drops Kofi again and goes to the top. Roode mocks the New Day and wastes some time on top. Roode misses the flying knee. Kofi springboards in from the apron and drops Roode. Kofi with chops and more offense. Kofi drop kicks Roode and does another big clothesline. Kofi plays to the crowd, hits the boom drop in the middle of the ring. Fans cheer Kofi on as he keeps going. Kofi fights with a big crossbody, but Roode still kicks out at 2. Then tackles some more, and Roode hits a full Nelson bomb for a close 2 count. Roode takes Kofi to the top for a superplex, but Kofi fights him off, sending him to the mat. Kofi leaps, but rolls through as Roode moves. Roode comes right back with a big spine buster for a close 2 count. Roode yells out and shows some frustration. Roode shows off to boos, calling for the glorious DDT as Kofi struggles to get up. Kofi blocks the DDT and hits an SOS for a close 2 count as Ziggler puts Rhodes' foot on the bottom rope. Roode's foot on the bottom rope. Fans boo Ziggler as Kofi has words with him. From the ring, Roode takes advantage of the distraction and rolls Kofi up out of nowhere for the pin and the win. After the match, Roode stands tall and celebrates as the music plays. We got to replays. Roode and Ziggler exit back up the ramp, celebrating. Otis is backstage, thinking about Mandy Rose and Dolph Ziggler. Tucker comes in and says sometimes the good guy doesn't get the girl. Sometimes Ziggler gets the girl. Tucker thinks Otis needs to let Mandy go. Tucker says next week they're going to get Otis back out in front of the WWE Universe. Tucker tries to get Otis hyped up, and it looks like it might be working. Renee Young is at ringside as the crew sets things up for the contract signing for Shinsuke Nakamura versus Braun Strowman at the Elimination Chamber. Back to commercial. Back for the break, we get a look at John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania 29, 2013. We go to the ring for the contract signing as Renee Young welcomes us. She plugs next Sunday's Elimination Chamber pay-per-view and introduces Shinsuke Nakamura first. Out comes Nakamura with Sami Zayn and Cesaro. Out next comes Intercontinental Champion Braun Strowman. Strowman lays the title over the table and takes a seat. Others are standing, but Nakamura also sits as Renee asks him to sign first. Strowman stands back up as Sami stops everything. He tells Strowman to grab a seat. Strowman actually grabs it and tosses it out of the ring. Sami wants to review the contract first because they've all been treated badly. And then just as he says, Sami goes on until Strowman yells at him to shut up. Strowman says everyone is sick and tired of hearing Sami moan and complain. Strowman doesn't care what's in the contract because at the end of the day, he knows he will have to fight these three clowns, and he's fine with it. Strowman goes on and signs the contract first. Sami says everyone just heard Strowman say he's willing to fight all three of them. Strowman asks if he's really going to spin it like that. Sami asks Strowman if he's going to go back on his word. Sami adds a rule amendment to the contract, and they all sign. Sami tells Renee to take this to the notary in the back. Sami says it's official. This will now be a 3-on-1 handicap match. Strowman stares him down and nods. Sami says Strowman is going down at the Elimination Chamber. Strowman slowly picks up the table and moves it out of the way. Sami says at the pay-per-view, nothing happens tonight. Strowman asks Sami what makes him think he's making it to the pay-per-view. Strowman drops Cesaro and Nakamura with a big right hand. It looks to go for Sami, but Cesaro and Nakamura attack him. Taking it to the corner, Sami with a low blow kick. They hold Strowman in the corner again, and Sami delivers a haluva kick. Nakamura with a Kasashi next. Cesaro and Nakamura suplex Strowman in the air, and Sami delivers a haluva kick to put him through the table. Fans boo as Cesaro and Sami and Nakamura stand tall before exiting the ring. And now to confirm Reigns versus Goldberg for WrestleMania 36. Daniel Bryan versus Curtis Axel will be up next. We go back to the ring. Out comes Daniel Bryan as the fans chant, yes, with him. Back to commercial. Back to the break. Curtis Axel is also out as the match begins. Drew Gulak was on commentary as he continues to shout Bryan's matches so he can give him pointers. Axel takes control early on and beats Bryan around. Axel takes Bryan into the corner and clubs him in the back of the head. Axel shows off and poses as Gulak yells at him to get back on Bryan and turns it around with kicks in the corner. Axel cuts him off and tosses him out of the ring in front of the announcers. Gulak taunts Bryan. Axel follows and sends Bryan into the ring post as Gulak gives him advice. Axel brings him back into the ring and kicks Bryan in the face. Axel uses ropes on Bryan. Now as the referee warns him, Bryan finally gets an opening and gets hyped up as the fans rally for him. Bryan delivers the yes kicks while Axel is on his knees. Axel ducks a roundhouse kick and rolls Bryan up for a 2 count. Bryan goes right into a label lock attempt, but Axel blocks it. Axel with a 2 count. They tangle and trade chips on the mat again. Axel ends up dropping Bryan with another shot to the back of the head. Axel goes for the perfect plex as Axel cheers him on. Bryan blocks the suplex and takes Axel down into the low belt lock as Axel taps out. Winner of the match, Daniel Bryan. After the match, Bryan stares at Gulak for a second and then hits the corner to pose for the fans as his music hits as Bryan leads the Yes Borg chant. We get a look back at John Cena versus AJ Styles from 2017 Royal Rumble event. Cena will be here live tonight. We see SmackDown Tag Team Champions The Miz and John Morrison backstage doing their championship photo shoot. Back to commercial. Back for the break. Out comes the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, John Morrison and The Miz. We'll get a brief look at how they defeated the New Day at Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia on yesterday. Miz asks why there are no "you deserve it" chants, and says they do deserve it. Miz says that they proved the haters wrong and they can choke on their pancakes. They go on bragging about their title win and they call for the Miz's music to hit. The referee is at ringside talking to Greg Hamilton. Hamilton announces that Miz and Morrison's first tag team title defense will be against the New Day. Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler, and the Usos. That match will be taking place at the Elimination Chamber. Usos versus John Morrison and The Miz. Non-title match. Miz and Morrison react to the news with anger. Apparently, they throw the microphone at Hamilton. Music interrupts and out comes the Usos for non-title action. Jimmy and Jay come out. Back to commercial. Back from the break, Morrison goes at it with Jimmy. Back and forth until Miz tags in. Jimmy launches Miz across the ring. Jay comes in for a double team. And a 2 count on Miz. We get intentional glitches across the screen again. The first time tonight. Miz counters Jay and drops him with a DDT for a close 2 count. Morrison comes back in and takes control as Jay is in also. Morrison with a 2 count. Morrison uses the ropes on Jay and Miz gets a cheap shot in. Miz and Morrison more tags and double teaming. Miz talks trash to Jay and drops him, showing off for the crowd as they boo him. More back and forth between the two teams as we go to commercial. Back to the break, Jay unloads on Miz as they both tag in. Jay nails a Samoa drop in the middle of the ring for a 2 count. Jay gets the crowd behind him, but misses the Rikishi slash in the corner as Miz moves out of the way. They miss Samoa drop and control Christian finale attempts. Miz goes on and Morrison tags in for an assisted double team neckbreaker. Jimmy breaks a pin attempt. Miz sends Jimmy to the floor, but Jay sends Miz to the floor. Jay and Morrison go at it now, trading shots. Jimmy tags in. They double team Morrison with kicks. Jimmy knows a big suicide dive on Miz in front of the announcers. Jay flies from the top with a splash, but Morrison gets his knees up. Morrison with a close 2 count. Jay gets back to his feet as Morrison charges and gets sent to the apron. Morrison rocks Jay and goes to the top. Jay climbs up. As Jimmy tags in, Morrison sends Jay to the mat, then drops Jimmy off the apron. Jay goes for a Starship Pain on Jay, but Jimmy kicks him in the head from the apron. Jimmy goes up top with Morrison. Miz charges on the apron, but Jay super kicks him out to the floor. Jimmy with a super destroyer from the top to the mat on Morrison. Jay immediately follows up with a big Uso splash from the top for the pin and gets the top non-title win. After the match, Uso stand tall as we go to replays. We come back to Jimmy and Jay continuing the celebration as the champions try to recover. We'll get you a video package on John Cena, back to commercial. Back for the break, out comes John Cena to a big hometown pop. Fans go wild for Cena as he takes the mic in the ring. Cena says he came to talk to the people tonight, but they're talking to him now. His heart is beating out of his chest. Cena goes on and asks what he's doing here. Well, it's WrestleMania 36 season. Cena says he will always be a WWE superstar, and this is his home. He says he's doing something different this year because he knows how hard everyone in the back works. He goes on and says he will always be first listen to the biggest WWE superstar of all, the fans. He talks more about listening to the fans and hearing them each week. Fan check Cena again. Cena mentions WrestleMania again and says he's doing the right thing this year. He says this year WrestleMania should go on without him. Fans boo. Cena says he hears them. This is not goodbye, but it is goodbye for now, and it's the right thing to do. Cena says, like us, he believes in the future of the company and respects what the talents do every night. He says WrestleMania spots should be earned, not given, and this year the show should go on without him. Fans boo again. Cena knows that WrestleMania that makes WrestleMania kind of sour. He understands, but that also makes tonight a bit more special because he's not sure when he will be back. He wanted to make this special announcement in front of his loved ones, his family, at a place he calls home. Cena gets the crowd hyped up some more, and they chant his name again. Cena says that the chants mean more to him than we will know. He puts the mic down and exits the ring as his music hits. Cena greets some fans at ringside and heads to the stage. Cena turns around and salutes the crowd, but we hear the familiar sounds of the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, as the lights start to go out. They come back up, and Cena is frozen with the salute. He stops and turns around to see the Fiend staring him down on the stage at the entrance. Cena and the Fiend stare each other down. The Fiend points up at the WrestleMania 36 sign as fans pop. Fans cheer louder and chant yes. Now, as the Fiend continues to point up at the WrestleMania banner, Cena looks around again at the crowd and turns back to the Fiend. Cena tips a hat and nods at the Fiend, apparently agreeing to the match. Lights go out in the arena, and we hear the Wyatt's laughs echo all over the arena as SmackDown goes off the air. And that concludes my results for SmackDown and 205 Live for this video. Thanks again. Peace out. See you want to be up. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.